I just wanted to talk about some of the things that got us here today. I've been working on this bill for 3 years, the last 2 with Senator Rosen, who I'm very grateful for carrying this bill so well for us. She's championed it, and I couldn't ask for a better partner in this bill. A lot of this we got to because in 2001, the Purdue Pharmacy talked the FDA into changing the labeling on opioids, that they were acceptable to be prescribed for chronic pain, daily, around-the-clock, long-term treatment. And the memo in the Purdue was the action by the FDA has created enormous opportunities to expand the market. And the drug companies' ads soon extolled the virtues of OxyContin's effectiveness, and sales tripled. Up until that time, these medications were used for acute pain, people with cancer who were dying, people post-surgery, things like that. After that ruling, they started to be prescribed for sprained ankles, tooth extractions, back pain, anything that arthritis. And as the letter from Dr. Resnikoff that I handed out, as he says, that a world with opioids is a world with opioid addiction. Not everybody who uses them will become an addict. Not everyone who uses them will develop the disease of addiction, but 6 to 20%, depending on the study, will. And the problem is, as of today, we don't have the services and the supports available for those people for that side effect of opioids. We find results for everything else. I know that some of the main opioid manufacturers now have a drug specifically for constipation caused by opioids. I mean, every other side effect has been dealt with, but we don't have one for the side effect of addiction. We've been trying to fit people with the disease of opioid addiction into the alcohol treatment system, and it's not working real well. Although we have managed to save a lot of lives. The previous bill, Steve's Law, made naloxone available throughout the county or state, and we saved over 2,000 people documented in reversing their overdoses. We know that 50 to 70% of the reversals are done by friends or family members outside the hospitals or ambulance systems. So we've probably saved conservatively 4,000 to 5,000 people. The problem with that is that if you read in Appendix K of SAMHSA and CMS, that they allocate their response grants by the criteria of dependence, abuse, or drug poisoning deaths. So because we save so many people, we get fewer federal dollars. It's one of the reasons why this bill is critical. I don't want people to have to die so that we get our share of money to take care of those with addiction. Today is a significant day to me. It's the daughter, Ariel, that I lost to opioid addiction. It would have been her 35th birthday today. So I think that it's an appropriate day that we're taking up this bill. And I want to dedicate this bill and the work that Senator Rosen and I have done together to all those who've lost their lives to opioid addiction. There's way too many to name, but of course, I would have to mention Steve Rumler and Cassie Joe and Dan Baker and all of those who, Michaela, I mean, there's too many to name, unfortunately, but they're all here in my heart. I hear their stories from their parents, and they all stay with me. Most of them were waiting for treatment. Most of them developed their addiction when they were prescribed opioids for a sports injury or a very painful disease, medical condition, and developed the addiction and couldn't get into treatment. Most of them had a 3-week wait. And the urges and the addiction of opioids was just too much for them to handle on their own, waiting. And they ended up, generally after losing some tolerance, using again and overdosing. The heartbreak is indescribable, having been there myself. I can tell you after 12 years, it's still there, but I'm used to it. You just learn to live with it. And, I'd like to tell those who are just now experiencing it that it gets easier, but it doesn't really. You just learn to make it as part of your life, because my life will never be the same as it was before the day that Ariel died. And I am so grateful to everybody who's worked on this bill, from the Steve Rumler Hope Network to Valhalla to March to, Lexi Reed Holtum and Randy Anderson and Shelley. And I just thank you, Senator Rosen, from the bottom of my heart. And I thank all of you ahead of time for your vote and support of this bill. Thank you.